Good evening, everybody. I'll call to order the work session for the City of Tenino on Tuesday, March 24th at 2026 at 6:30 p.m. For our work session, we got a couple bigger items we'll go over real quickly. None of them require a lot of action, but just for discussion mainly. So I think we'll start out with the food bank. They've given us a letter of intent to exercise their option to purchase. And we kind of got it to you a bit late, but it's not very long. So anyway, the whole crew's here tonight to answer any questions that you may have. And basically what we're going to ask for later in the meeting is just permission to move forward with the whole process of all the steps we need to take to officially get that surplus. And there's a couple other steps we have to take to sell it. So we just need to start moving forward. So anyway, I'll let Jody start out with whatever you'd like to say, and then we'll go from there.
So one of the steps that has to be made is that we have to give you a letter of intent to purchase the building, which is part of our lease agreement. We're just trying to move forward quicker than the 4 years that are left on our lease to help with the city. That's all this is about, because we can wait 4 years and pay you the $5 a year, or we can get this done sooner than that and start getting some cash flow back into the city coffers. I do have with me a realtor, which is Seth Sharp. Some may know him, some may not. But he's going to go over the LOI, and there are some time restraints with it once it starts moving along. So he's going to make sure that everybody is on the same page for what we need to do, okay? And I do have also Carly is here. She is our accountant. She's going to throw some numbers at you. They're both here to answer any questions that you may have, okay? So does anybody have any questions for me? Yay. Oh, no.
We know you'll tell us whatever we need to hear, Jody.
I know. I'm just going to tell you how it needs to be, okay? And just vote on it, and it'll be okay.
Yeah.
So, but so that you all know, we're going to do our first test run on feeding people down there on next Wednesday. We go live on the April 7th. I guess I should also introduce two more of my board members. Pat Heller, she is our founder and our treasurer, and Sherry Landers, for those that will know Sherry from school way back when. She is also our secretary. So.
Hey there. Did everybody have a chance to review it or check it out, or anybody got any questions on any of it?
I think I have a couple questions. It is mostly just kind of how we got to specific numbers. So if you've got an answer, great, outstanding. If not, we'll go back and we'll ask questions.
Numbers, I'm probably going to defer to Carly here. She's our numbers person.
Cool. Yeah, that's
But
good.
as far as timelines and structure and how this whole thing works, I'm the guy on that one.
Okay.
But yeah, if we're talking numbers, we can get Carly up here.
Okay. I do have a question about timeline. Okay, so it says at the end, expiration, this letter of intent shall remain open for acceptance until 8 p.m. for 7. So that's our next council meeting.
Correct.
Is that timeline like legally required? Like if we want to review this tonight, think about it, discuss it some more for the next couple weeks, and then come back on the 7th. I don't think that's too late, obviously, because it says 8 p.m. on the 7th. But is there any like set in stone
If that,
time frame?
typically in real estate, how that works, if your offer, they have an expiration date.
Mm-hmm.
When that expiration date time hits, offer is off the table and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Okay.
typically how that works.
My question would be, is this a standard expiration time, or is this just an arbitrary date we've come up with?
It's standard, it's whatever you want it to be. This is what we chose as the board. They chose to give you the 2 weeks. Review
Very
it
good.
tonight, answer all your questions. You got 2 weeks to talk about it, and then you can vote next council meeting if you choose, or you can vote tonight.
The next council meeting is on April 14th. 14th, yeah. Not the 7th. Yeah.
Oh, I looked at the calendar wrong then.
Okay,
Yeah, that'd be the
Okay.
first Tuesday.
Second Tuesday.
I know, but the 7th is probably the
Yeah,
first
The
one.
first Tuesday, but the next council meeting is gonna be on the second Tuesday, which is April 14th.
Oh, yep, you're right. I looked at the calendar wrong.
Voted on tonight.
It would have to be with the current timeline, which,
So I think we need the timeline changed. I don't feel like being stampeded into a real estate deal.
They have the timeline as
Yeah.
April 7th.
I know, we can't do that. It'd have to be the 14th at least. I'm not gonna sign anything, vote on anything tonight without having our legal counsel review it. And
yeah.
Right.
so anyway,
Anyway.
we'll have to talk to you about that, I
that's
guess.
easily updated.
Yeah, that's
Not
just
a-
a
not an
timeline
issue.
thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anything else for me?
Did you have, I didn't have any questions. I mean,
Okay.
I think somebody threw out the question about how did we arrive at the price. I think, that, at least from my perspective, this is kind of what we've been talking about since this all started. And just to explain, when we did appraisals, what, a year and a half ago about, I think, was when we did the first appraisals down there.
Mid-2024.
They weren't valid anymore because our attorney said it had to be a year. The idea was if the appraisals went up between those first ones and the second ones, we would deduct any improvements. But when they redid the appraisals, they were exactly the same. So there was no increase in value from the appraisals. And so this is just kind of where I was thinking that, you know, and around that price range, it's something a little bit less than the appraised values, but we can do that for community organization. I mean, that benefits organizations that benefit the community. That's what we did with the lease agreement, was, you know, we recognize that they're valuable to our community, so we only charge, what is it, $2 on each building a year for that. So I think that's the same idea here, that we can take something less in value, but again, that drives, we have to have a public hearing on it so people in the community can have input on it. I think there's several steps that we have to take to act. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I can fix that date right now and
Yeah.
email it to Jody and have it
yeah,
done tonight.
And I'll send it to you.
yeah. And so what only thing I'm asking tonight to vote on is just moving forward with the process so we can get things moving, make sure our attorney's got whatever documents that we need to get in place, get those done and just make sure we're all legally doing things the right way.
So like a voting to draft everything necessary, and then we'll vote on actual.
Yeah, so
Passage or
basically just to be able to have our attorney start the process, and there's gonna be some expense there, obviously, but just so we're all okay with moving forward, not actually signing the document, but
Got you. Okay.
we can do that at the next meeting.
And in the lease, it says that there's 2 purchase and sale agreements that need to happen as well. At this point, if you guys decide to move forward tonight,
What is it? I'm sorry.
purchase and sale agreement, so
Oh.
an actual offer.
Okay,
So once we kind of hashed out what was on here, if everything was okay there, then I would work up those purchase and sale agreements and then get those
As
to you
part of
guys,
it?
because those are, yeah, part of the lease and the rules on how this thing gets laid out.
so, yeah, to me, it's kind of what we've always talked about, you know, it's kind of when we did the leases, like you have the option of purchasing it at you know, somewhere along the ways, and I think this is just a step, you know,
Yeah.
that way, and again, I want to clarify that it doesn't mean that this is going to be $1,000 a month until it's paid off. They still have the option, if they find a grant or something at some point, to pay it off anytime with no penalty. So I just want everybody to be aware that that doesn't mean we're just going to get $1,000 a month for 24 years or whatever the length would be. They could come up with the money and pay it off at any time.
Yep.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
But that's part of Carly.
Yeah, I shouldn't steal her thunder. I'll let her explain it.
Yeah, it will be written in the contract as well, with saying that there is that option of, if any fundraising or grants or anything comes up, that can be applied to the loan as well, so you guys get the money sooner. Get Carly?
Is there any questions on the numbers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a couple
He's a
questions.
numbers guy.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
Okay. Question of, how did we get to 210,000 for the sale price on that? I think we talked about it a little bit, but was there any specific, like, hard numbers, or was that just kind of like?
That's
hey,
from the
here's-
appraisal.
Okay, so the building's appraised
Correct.
at
The building's been
210.
appraised twice now, once in 2024 and a reappraisal within the last
I think it was last
Couple weeks,
7
a week,
days.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
At 210,
yes,
okay.
And this is an appraisal of 2 structures, correct?
correct.
Okay.
And it's your guys's, it's the city's appraiser.
Mhm.
The $1,000, that's amortized? That includes the interest over, what, 16, 20 years, something like that?
Yeah, the original terms were 3% on a 30-year. So the $1,000 a month is kind of just a blanket number that we pay every month until we know exactly once we close. And then if you, in the document, it says that we'll make one balloon payment each year. Because really, if you work it out, 200 and some odd $1,000 at 3% on a 30 year is about $1,100. So every year centered around our large fundraiser auction will bring the rest of the payment current for the year. But yes, it is fully amortized,
Okay, all right.
correct. That's why we are actually actively and aggressively searching for other funding sources. We're currently working with a grant writing company. We kind of don't want to be in a purchase forever. We'd really be looking to aggressively pay off the loan. We've had significant work with a fundraiser and a granting source that has already fruited enough money for us to do a lot of construction down there. So they're very hopeful about us being able to escalate the payment in full.
And I'm curious, why not have this low payment over a number of years and save that grant money for projects and enhancements? And what was your choice?
You know, I think there's 2 schools of thought, right? You could look at a low payment, low interest rate, we could carry it out forever, but you're still paying interest on something. And we would rather satisfy the loan and have no interest going out of our budget. And truly, the whole goal of this is to give the food bank a permanent home in our community. We serve 28,000 people a year, almost $1.2 million of food going through our doors. We want to have a home that we own, that we will be here for generations to come.
All right, thank you.
3%. How did the 3% come about?
That was the offer presented to us from the city.
Okay. Okay.
So, Mr. Mayor,
Discussed.
3%.
Discussed.
What's that?
That was what we discussed. You have the final say, whatever percentage. Just would like when we discuss the sale price, you know. So that's up to you to finalize if you want something different than that, but
All right.
Okay.
again, it was kind of like, well, they're a nonprofit, they're helping our citizens. Maybe we could get a little bit more on our money, maybe, but
No, I hear you.
It's the public value. I get that.
yeah. I did want to say real quickly too, on the, especially on the cold storage warehouse site, that appraisal there, that building was built with grant money. We have no investment in that building. It was built specifically for the food bank and
Emergency
other
food storage.
organizations at the time. So really, when I look at that, we didn't really, even though the value's there now, we didn't have any investment in that building. So again, that's why I thought for the food bank, I think it's a good deal. I mean, we're not losing money on that by, you know, selling it at somewhat of a discount, and so. And they do have some equipment there too that's included in that, like they have a generator, propane tank for that building, some other things, and that are truly theirs that,
Over the course of the 4 years remaining of our lease, the city would actually come out ahead almost $53,000. And bringing up to your point, fully amortized in the first 4 years of the loan, that's obviously a majority interest, which is pure profit to the city.
All right.
Got my questions answered?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome, thanks.
anybody else from the food bank want to speak on anything? Did we miss anything? Okay, we will, in the regular meeting, we'll vote on the moving forward with it, so you're welcome to stay if you would like, but, yeah. Okay, the other one is the comp plan update. Melissa is here to present, talk about that a little bit and how we're moving forward with that.
Yeah, so You guys should have all received a updated draft of the comprehensive plan and the comment matrix, which outlines all of the comments that we've received from the community and our state agencies. And it also outlines all of the responses and where those changes were made in the draft document so that they're easily identifiable. So all I'm asking for tonight is for you guys to set a public hearing for formal adoption on the 28th of April at the second city council meeting of the month. And at that point, I'll talk about all things comp plan. If you have questions right now, I'm happy to answer them. But at that point, I'll have a PowerPoint and a staff report that goes over everything. So it'll be a lot more comprehensive. And of course, I always try to make that as easily digestible as possible.
Yeah.
It's
not
easier said
easy.
than done.
As easily as you can and comprehensively.
Exactly, yeah.
I would just say that it's a long document, so we're not planning on printing out a hard copy. I mean, if we need to, we can get you something on a thumb drive, but that would be pretty extensive to try to make copies for everybody. But we'll try to accommodate anybody as best we can, because it's a long one, I think, so.
Yes, we wanted to make sure that you guys were set up for success, and then down the road, when the periodic updates happen, then it's going to be easier the next time to just update and be able to really ensure that you guys are on track for success.
So this is the final step, this public hearing and a final vote to adopt it on the 28th, is that correct?
Yes.
And what happens then with this document?
So once it's actually formally been adopted, it gets sent to the state for them to have it on file. The city uses it as a vision document. So in the planning world, essentially, if there's any sort of conditional use permit or special permitting where things aren't essentially outlined outright. So there are uses that are outright permitted in the city. There are some conditional uses. Essentially, uses have to align to that document to be permitted. And really what that comes down to is the interpretation of the vision of the document. So if Costco wanted to come into the city, right, and they wanted to put a Costco in a residential neighborhood, that wouldn't be in line with the vision. So we could say no. And so that's essentially what it's for.
So using your example, say we wanted to have a Costco in a residential neighborhood. What is the city's, is this document, are we set in stone for the document? Is it something we can change over time? What's the process for that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So comp plan amendments can happen once a year. We do have a process set in our municipal code for that. So those requests can come into the city council. They also get sent to the city planner, which is me. And then we go through the process step by step, which essentially goes to the planning commission and then city council and or a public hearing a hearing examiner, depending on the exact language of the municipal code.
And these updates are forwarded to the state to be appended to this document, the original
Yes.
document?
Yep, anytime the comprehensive plan is amended, it is sent to the state for their purview, just to ensure that it aligns with the GMA, or the Growth Management Act.
Thank you.
Of course.
And can you correct me if I'm wrong here? I mean, we adopt this plan, but there's things we need to do to, I always kind of go back to the ADUs because that's a big thing that the state's requiring now. The specifics aren't necessarily in our comp plan, but we have to update like our municipal code to match some things too, right?
Yes.
So that's an additional task that you'll be working on this next year, right? I believe?
Yes, Mayor, you're absolutely correct. And right now I'm working with the Planning Commission on updating the development code and the critical areas ordinance, which are both required to be updated. And so that process will be also coming to you guys as soon as it gets through Planning Commission, which right now we're in that drafting process. In regard to the critical areas ordinance, just to give you guys kind of an update, that's been put on hold until Thurston County gets a little further because they're doing a deep dive on the best available science that's required to be updated. And so Planning Commission voted to hold off on updating that until we have further information about what the nearby jurisdictions are doing.
Anything else? Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get that on, the agenda for the 28th.
Sounds good. Thank you, council members.
Just to update on, just the other things that are going to come before us, planning commission candidates. We did have one position open, but at the last meeting, Stephen Roundsley resigned, so we now have 2 positions open. Stephen was appointed, he doesn't live in the city limits, he's a longtime family, has been here, but he actually lives in Tumwater. So he was offered a position on the Tumwater Planning Commission, so he is resigning. So we have 2 spots open. We had 2 candidates, so the Planning Commission basically has recommended we appoint both of those candidates to those positions. So that will come to you before a vote today. And we need those people. We're down to, we won't have a quorum if we don't get people back on there. So we can talk more about that during the new business. The last one is the Tenino Arts Special Events Application Fee. That is the stone carvers and the Tenino Arts are asking to a special event application, and they are asking for partial exemption from the fees. They would like to pay $50 just to help cover basically our staff cost of processing that stuff, so that'll come before you also. And the last one is an annual update of the consolidated fee schedule per ordinance 870. So we just made some minor updates, and I don't recall every one that's on there, but hopefully Nancy or somebody can help us point out the exact changes we made. There weren't extensive changes, but there were a few. Any questions about those? Okay, we got about half hour, so let's do reports. Fire department, you want to do one since you're here, so you don't have to stick around if you want to.
All right, good evening. How we doing?
Good.
Doing okay?
All right.
All right. All right, so for us, so I got 3 things to hit up. The first part was for calls of service. We had 27 calls in February. No major fires, no major incidents, so that's good.
In the city, right?
In the city, yeah, this is city, but overall, we had 123 total calls in February. So the average response time went to 5:05, and the reason why is we had a stage for law enforcement call at like 2 o'clock in the morning, so it took a while to get that, and then mutual aid had to come in for 1 call when we got busy, so it messed with our 3-minute response time.
When you only have 27
5 on
calls in one.
average. Yeah.
1 or 2 calls makes a big
Yeah,
difference.
it does make a difference. So that part's good. The department itself is doing really well. There's a lot of good stuff moving on. The other part of this is the letter I sent to the council members regarding WSRB rating and some things that does need to happen at some point or come up with a plan on. And so just a brief overview. The city stayed at a WSRB rate of 5, but the rest of my district went to a 4. And so some of that, so the grading works on about 4 different pieces that they look at, which is water supply, the fire department operation in itself, the 911 system, and then basically fire safety, inspection, educational pieces that the fire department can do. And so we actually didn't get fully graded on that because they actually didn't get all of our stuff. So it wasn't enough to go back in and regrade on some of that. But when we come to the city, the inspection piece happens when a permit hits and an inspector goes out and inspects the building and signs off on the permit. But there still needs to be an annual inspection that needs to be done on that piece of property, along with the sprinkler systems if they have it. The schools do a really good job at that. They send that piece out, so we're good on that, but it's the rest of the buildings in the city. The other side of this is the fire hydrants itself need to be updated. We have, on the very north end of town, we have village hydrants, and village hydrants have 2.5-inch ports on them, And that's not sustainable for the buildings that are on that side of town, mainly schools, commercial structures. And so, from what I understood from a long time ago, there was a handshake agreement that the village hydrants would get replaced once a year until they were all done. And I believe there's 8 of them that I've found at this point. So that we need to kind of come up with a plan for the city to, you know, and I know it's obviously not the best time for this, but it is what it is. So at least getting this out to you guys to come up with something. Inspection of the hydrants as well, and that's where I have a member of the department I think could be really good for going and do that in the annual inspection piece to kind of help out the cities, because I know that you guys have only so much staffing to go around. And so they can go hit that piece and get it checked off on first due, so that's all taken care of. Inspection and flows, that's the other part of it, the flows, we need to get that down. I don't think we have an actual rate on the hydrants anytime soon or lately that I know of. So that's kind of important. We need to know what we can actually flow. So if a strip mall down here catches on fire, I need to know if the hydrants can handle that, or I need to bring in tenders as well. Right.
So the flow rates, you just put a meter on it just to kind of get an idea how much water can flow?
Yeah, and then the hydrants technically should be colored based on that flow rate as well. So when you see an orange, a blue, yellow hydrant, orange, I think I already said that one, but sorry, there's a structure fire going on, so I'm just making sure I don't need to go. Yeah, so that part would be good if we can get with that, and I'll get with Troy and kind of sit down and maybe get a plan, but then come back to you guys and let you know that we have something and moving. Any questions on WSRB or any of that?
Well, I'm just curious, how old are those hydrants?
They're old.
1954, I think,
Gotcha.
was one of the hydrants.
Cool. And so there's 8 of them. If we replace them, that would come out of water and sewer?
It'd probably come out of our water fund, and I don't even, we may have some hydrants down there, I'm not sure what we've had, but I'm sure it must have come out of water, I'm
Yeah, I
guessing.
think we have a line item for that, but
I thought you were looking
I'm
at me.
not
I'm like,
sure
oh.
what the replacement cost is.
Yeah. We'll have to look into it a little more.
Yeah, and there's the one that's right on the corner by the food bank where they're putting out, that needs to get taken care
Get
of.
fixed up,
Yeah, Napa right there, you know, older
Those
buildings.
apartments right there.
Yeah, there's apartments, that hydrant needs, that like is critical, piece of getting
The food
fixed.
bank, we don't want to forget the food bank's right across the street.
I know, I got her standing behind me, I feel the eyes burning in the back of my head.
I got hydrants covered in black plastic.
Let's get that thing sold quick.
Or sell the building quickly, one or the other.
They might
All
want a
right.
contingency on making sure the fire hydrant works before they buy it. huh?
Yeah.
So this particular rating, we're at a 5, you said, and if we change these hydrants up, we'll get to a lower rating.
Well-
What is the benefit to everyone should we get to a lower rating?
Well, first of all, its insurance rates drop as well.
Okay.
That's the biggest
Can
part.
drop.
It can drop, yeah. That's a very key phrase, because each insurance company doesn't necessarily have to take the WSRB rating. They do their own ratings as well. Or they could just say, no, we're not, we're gonna keep it at whatever they want. But it is very helpful to have that done. But it is a combination of all of those pieces together to drop it to at least a 4. Like Los Angeles has certain areas in the city that they can actually meet that class 1 rating, where it's very tough and it takes a lot of money to get to a class 1 rating. I don't know if there's anybody in the state of Washington that's even close to that, to be honest with you. So I think if we can, my goal always would be to like try to get to at least a 3, but that would be, I think is gonna be a tough task unless we get grant money coming out the wazoo, and then we can get there, right? But that's kind of, at least a 4 would be a good start.
Yeah, I just want to be clear to the people that there are some companies that use that, but a lot of companies, it's just like an insurance company. They rate all the houses based on their losses in the area. So
Yeah.
just because we're stated at a 5 doesn't mean, I mean, even if we went down to a 4, people's insurance may have not gone down, depending on what their insurance company, what they use for that rating.
Yeah,
So,
it's a benchmark for us as a provider to the citizens to see where we're at, right? And it's a comprehensive plan. It's probably 50, 60 pages, and it talks about, because they go through all of our documentation that we send in.
training records.
Yeah,
and
training,
all-
it's a a pretty big piece. So, in fact, just learning about it, it's even difficult, to be honest with you. As I sat there and went through several meetings, and I think it takes someone that's been in the service for a long time dealing with them to understand that fully. But the point of the fact of the matter, if we can walk away from anything, if we can focus on getting the hydrants done just for the pure fact of for the
safety of
occupancies around here that need that water, pretty significantly.
But I think one of the questions you had, how often does this happen? Is it like every
5 years.
5
Every 5
years? So
years.
we're not gonna get re-rated. If we improve the hydrants, it's not gonna make any changes for 5 years until they come back and re-rate.
Well,
Right?
yeah, and they did say that if there's a significant change to our previous,
They can update it.
yeah,
or-
they can update it as well.
Yeah, I think it's more of a safety concern though.
Yeah,
At this point than it
that's
is
the
an
right, it's just the
insurance
right
rate
thing we need to do,
question.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And it's been going on for, I swear, since I've been on council,
yep,
8
Yep.
years ago, it's been a thing, so it's just another one of those we just need to get on top of and get it done.
Yeah. yep, just bringing it to you guys' attention. It's
And-
on you
and-
guys now.
Yeah, just so you know, we haven't had a fire marshal for quite some time. We do have a fire marshal now that's been doing our fire inspections on new stuff, but like he said, he's not doing any proactive building inspections yet.
No, annual
But-
inspections.
But that's something we need to do. I mean, if one building down here catches on fire, it could be literally a whole block that burns down. And getting in these buildings and making sure that they're meeting the fire safety things is really critical. I mean, besides the loss of the building, the loss of jobs and all those other things that go along with it. So we got to get a plan to get in these occupancies and do these fire inspections. Just, again, it's just the right thing to do, in my opinion.
Mhm.
So we'll work on working on something on that too. At least we can do part of them a year, even if we can't even get every one, if we can get 25% of them or something, we're making headway.
Is there a whole long list of things to get to a level 3 that we would have to do?
Yeah, if you want, come by the station.
Okay.
I can sit down that whole plan with you.
Okay.
And show you how it's graded and how we fell into it and how we can make improvements. Because it does show us where we can make the changes and all the way around. And if I need to, I can also see if the rater could come in and speak about it way more elegantly than I could about this process, that's for sure.
Okay, cool. Thanks, I'll do that.
Yeah, Mr. Carney, you'll be pleased to know I volunteered you and myself to, as
Yeah,
I've already been volunteered, okay.
being on the public service committee for
Yeah.
the city council, that the
Yeah.
fire department is every bit as part of that as the police department. I've asked Chief Gray to send us emails and just keep us in the loop on what the fire department's doing and what it needs from the city, just so
Cool.
we have a finger on it. A question about the hydrants, Mayor. Do we replace those ourselves, or are those contracted out to?
We
plumbers?
replace them, I think. They just have to I'm guessing they pretty much just have to shut the valve off to the hydrant, and I'm not sure if the base is the same where they attach it, but I think we've done them in the past.
Yeah, I think it
Ourselves.
is. I think it's just to change the top part. And I
Public
think it's
Works.
good.
It's a public works function.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a matter of buying the parts and
Right.
scheduling the time.
Like I said, I think we may even have a couple down there, but just, yeah.
So that's one thing the city can do itself. There's the public part of that, which is the annual inspections by business owners. There's an expense there. Do we know what the fire marshal would charge for that annual inspection?
Well, what do we pay them, $100 an hour?
So our ordinance currently states that we provide that at no cost to the business owner, but we still have to pay our fire marshal as an expenditure to the city. So, and that is, he charges $150 per hour.
Sticker in the corner.
All right, so there's a
Yeah.
little calculation.
Is this his voice coming out of the sky?
I'm sorry, Jeff, I didn't hear you.
So there's a calculation, what this would cost us per year as we go ahead in this budget.
There is, I believe it's Thurston County that has a matrix for, like, per square footage, it should cost X number of dollars. We could look into adopting that, and then charge our business owners that dollar amount so that it would be, similar to Thurston County
With the change of ordinance,
with the change of ordinance.
all right? Okay,
Anything else? We'll work on it. we're having a great, I think we're on the same page. It's just a matter of getting the motivation to get it done. So,
Yep.
we'll make improvements.
It's on the radar. That's the best part now at this point, right?
I've told them, don't let me get away with not getting anything done to bug me if I'm not making progress.
That's what I told the chief.
Yeah. Last piece is a good piece. I'm happy to say that we signed the contract for property for the new fire station.
Woo!
That part's good, and we're rolling on to survey, geotech, and appraisal piece pretty quickly so that we can get things moving and shaking. So that's pretty much the end of my report, unless you had any other further questions.
You want to just tell them real quickly, are you still planning on kind of doing a phase project on the building still, and kind of what you're looking at there?
Yeah, the amount of money that we got on the bond was $5.9 million. We did get a $3 million grant from the legislative, I forget what grant it is. So with the price of the property that we had to pay out and some of the other stuff, it gives us about $6.8 million to build a fire station, which sounds like a lot of money, but it really isn't in the grand scheme of things when it comes to a structure this size of potentially we're between 10 to 12,000 square feet. So we'll have to probably phase this out. What we'll do, we'll put the crews over there immediately and then figure out admin later. They'll put me in a trailer or something like that. I don't care at this point, but we got to get them in there with a decent sized community room so that piece is still available. Is my hope and goal, but it really is all going to boil down to the actual cost. And with the cost that building construction is at right now in the state of Washington, it's pretty significant.
Crazy,
So if it's phasing in, do you still have need for the existing fire station?
Yep, for right now, 100%. Yeah, until we come up either some more money or come up with a different plan. But eventually, at some point, the two buildings will have to get sold that we have over there. Yep.
Anything else?
Jody, you want to buy it?
Yeah.
I
Another fixer-upper for you.
Okay, sounds good. Anything else? You good?
Thanks for coming in, I appreciate it.
No, ma'am, thanks.
Okay, we'll go back to reports, outside agencies. We got the Commerce, EDC, and Study. I got a report from George. Oregon Trail Days Committees, meeting Monday, April 8th at 5:30 at the Sandstone Cafe. Public invited to participate on the committee. Next Chamber Lunch Forum, April 15th at noon at the Sandstone Cafe. And the EDC Study, next study meeting is April 17th, 8 a.m. at the Bicota Gymnasium. Don't have anything from Arch or VCB. Regional Library, I haven't heard any additional information from them, besides they're still looking at significant cuts to their staff. I think I mentioned this last meeting, they're talking about actually the new program where people can get in with key cards after hours. They're talking about making some libraries, and ours hasn't been, I haven't seen ours on this list, but they're gonna try to, at least there's some discussion about having some of the libraries totally only key card access versus any people being there at all. So it's gonna be interesting to see how that all plays out. And like everybody else that's going through financial difficulties, there's a lot of chatter out there about how they got to this spot and a lot of other things. So we'll just have to wait and see what this all means for our library.
We'll see if we're the first robo-book location.
Yeah, RoboBook, yeah. Civil Service Commission, did you have anything, Jody? I don't. I know. Finance Committee, we did meet.
We did have a meeting on Wednesday for the finance, and then we're working with Right Systems for a reduction in the fees that they currently are charging. Hopefully that all takes place. Springbrook is helping with the required annual reports. The fee schedule has been updated, and Waterworth is gathering additional information so that they can give us an update on whether or not we have to change fees.
Yeah, just to update you a little bit further, Waterworth, I now have access to the program. They put the initial information in, so I'm just going through it to scan it to make sure there's no errors in that, so we have a good product when we get done. So that's moving along pretty quickly, and they're very helpful. I had an issue today, and within a couple minutes, they were there to help me get through it and understand the system. So they have been good to work with. Planning Commission,
I was just gonna mention one other thing, is that as we go through some of these financial considerations, we've started with the largest contracts that we have being Right Systems, and we're gonna continue going through and reviewing those contracts that we have, to make sure that we are getting the best deal, that we can. So, I plan to look at, the Planning Commission, or the planning contract next, just to see who's offering those services, and see if we are getting a good deal. So, anyway.
Thank you for doing that. What does Right Systems do for the city?
and I'll add again, I think I've said this before, I do have a meeting this Friday with the city of Tumwater, just to see what services they think they can, and again, we'll just have to look at all the possibilities and make a decision what the best way forward is, but I do have that meeting set with the Tumwater to see if they have anything they think we could work together on.
Right Systems is IT, data storage,
system.
all that stuff.
Planning Commission, I think we got basically what I told you already. They've met last 2 weeks ago. I was at the meeting. It's just the comp plan update and the new commissioners that we need to deal with or appoint. Public Safety Committee, anything from there?
Nothing.
Public Works,
Public Works was, they've basically been working over at ballparks. They have the bleachers all made. They have some painting to do yet in the dugouts. They'll be blacktopping on Friday by the concessions in that area. And that's about all he had.
okay.
He knows that, he did say that he knows that it needs to be mowed over in the park, but it's too wet.
Too wet, and yeah, that gets really spongy over there.
Yeah,
when it's
that's
raining,
what he
so-
said, it was like a sponge.
Yeah. That's the excuse I use for my backyard too. Too spongy. Okay, Chief of Police, he's out on extended leave right now, so no report there. Public Works, I think we just got basically a report on that. Code Enforcement, do you have anything you want to pass on from code enforcement? You got to get up and speak, you can't sit in your corner.
I know. No comment.
Okay.
I feel like you were in trouble and been put in the corner or something. The park specialist, Jessica, one thing she's working on right now is our wastewater treatment plant. We've talked about the screens that need to be replaced out there. And she's working with, I think, Commerce on that project. We applied for a grant and were denied. Basically, the emergency loan that we were trying to get, they don't feel we can, your system has to fail before you can get an emergency loan or any emergency grants. It has to be failed. It has to fail, physically fail, or you have to have an engineer say that it's gonna fail anytime if it hasn't failed.
So what's the turnaround time for a grant when your plant fails?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Exactly. So anyway, I think what I talked to Jessica about today is they suggested there's another grant coming up here very soon. And even as it is now, they are thinking it's going to be early next year before we'd be ready to actually actually do the improvement. So keep our fingers crossed that nothing fails out there. But they say they think we have a good chance of getting this other grant that's coming out. So I tell you, she's on top of this stuff. She knows her grants, and if she has questions, she's not afraid to go ask and get answers. So I feel very good that she's watching over all this for us. But those screens worry me because they've lasted 20 years or whatever it's been now, and they were supposed to last 10. So, and we don't want a failure on that. That would be a huge thing. So she's on top of that, and we'll report, keep you up to date on what's going on out there. Clerk treasurer?
So, this is the meeting where we don't have the treasurer's report. That'll come next meeting, because that's once a month. But we are working on some things we wanted you to be aware of. You may be getting emails from Maria or I with RMS training that council members, all elected officials need to take. And what that does, we have standards with our insurance company, RMSA. And if we don't meet the standards, then if something happens like the fraud in the past or anything that we have to use our insurance for, we have a higher deductible if we don't have all of our training standards met. So you all will be getting emails from us with the training that you need to take. We do have the fee schedule for approval, and I do not know what lines have been updated, but I can get that for you guys if you want to see it. Lori did all the updates, and I'm just presenting it, so I'll get those for you if you want to see the difference. I think there were only a few updates. I'm starting on the annual reports. Those are due May 30th, so 150 days after the end of the year, I believe. And so those take quite some time to take care of. So I'll be working on those over the next couple months so that we can get those submitted to SAO on time. And then Lori and I tomorrow are taking a class, Mr. Eisel, you will be happy, in unclaimed property with Department of Revenue, so that we can get started on that backlog of checks from 2016 to 2019 that have never been cashed.
Marvelous.
And we can get those off the record eventually, but it will take some time because it's a process that you don't turn into the state of Washington until October. So don't be in a rush, but we're getting there. I think that is all I have for today. Does anyone have any questions about anything?
I'd just like to see the fee schedule, the updates.
You don't have it there? You don't have a copy of it? It came out with the agenda. Everybody should have a hard copy.
Oh, no,
Mhm.
you don't have,
I
you don't
probably
have
have
a
one
hard
here if you wanna
copy
see
of
it.
the updates? Here's one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I think
Yeah, I have a copy here you can have also.
I printed it.
Because we're
I'll let
asking,
you, I'll share it,
oh, okay. Because we are asking for it to be approved
yeah.
today so that we
Okay.
can move forward with, starting with
We have a
new
couple
budget
minutes.
stuff for the next year.
I'll finish what I'm doing and then I'll review that.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have one too, if you need it, I think. There wasn't many changes. If I look at it, I can probably remember some of them, but, yeah, a couple of them.
I was gonna say, didn't we go over the changes once before?
I thought we did, but maybe, yeah.
I thought that Marie already told us once.
Okay, mayor's report real quick. Had a TRPC meeting that I attended by Zoom. It was actually in person, but I couldn't make it because I had another meeting, so I did it by Zoom. I met with Aslan, just overview about the ag park, and we wanted to just discuss where our expenses out there and what we're bringing in revenues, just so he was very clear on all that. So we went over all of those, including not just the lease monies that we get, but also like B&O taxes and those kind of thing. The one thing that's hard to pin down is what we would get in sales taxes. We don't get a separate report from them exactly what sales taxes, but B&O taxes, we knew exactly what they have paid. So we kind of just sat down and were clarified on all that. Attended the Tenino firefighter crab feed, which went by over really well. I think they had record fundraising with that. been working on, we're going to have a public meeting on the 28th, this Saturday at 10 o'clock at the Tenino Elementary School. So I've been preparing and getting some information all put together for that. Got that ready to go, I think, right now. We had another meeting with Waterworth just to go over the numbers they have in there right now. There were some changes that needed to be made, and that's kind of why I requested to have access, so I could just double check everything to make sure the numbers are good. We had a meeting with the Colvin Ranch and their developers about the wastewater and water use out at if they develop the meat processing facility out there. There's some significant requirements for them to, they're gonna have to meet with ecology because the amount of water that they want to put into our plant meets a certain level, so they have to get approval through ecology. So there will be an extensive process for them to go through to get approved for putting their wastewater into our plant. The other question that came up was just how much water they plan to use, estimate, because our water right, we don't have a ton of water rights, so we need to know fairly clearly how much water they believe they're gonna need, because we don't want to give them every water right we have available. So that was another question we left with them. They plan on looking into that and getting back to us. Had a mayor's meeting in Dakota. There's only 3 of us there, I believe, 4 of us at the old gym, which they, I guess, cleaned up significantly. It looked great down there. We had a meeting with Nancy and I and Elaine had a meeting with the sheriff at Thurston County on Friday, March 13th, just to go over issues with policing. Let's see, I think that's almost it. Yep, that is all I have. Is there any questions? Okay, got a little bit of time left. BTHAT, anything from BTHAT?
No.
Solid Waste Advisory Board?
No.
Tenino School Board, I don't think there's anything for that. Thurston Regional Planning Council, I attended that meeting. There was nothing significant that affected us on that one. And TPB also. I think I talked about last meeting, we're looking at that grant, the Small Cities Grant. It's about $310,000, so we'll still be working on, again, sidewalks was kind of the thing that came up, so we're gonna make a walk around and try to identify the ones that need repairs and focus on the downtown, hopefully, is what I plan to do, and move out from there with our sidewalks. And that's still continuing. Thurston County Commissioner's Office, nothing. Legislature, I think, is wrapped up now. I don't know if there's anything. Huh?
It's done on 12.
Yep.
12% die.
And Oregon Trail Days, Diana's not here, so I don't know if there's anybody tell us about Oregon Trail Days? Anybody got any information on what's anything new there? Just moving forward and normal. Did have a short meeting with, oh geez, now I'm have to come up with a name and I'm drawing a blank.
Where from?
Huh?
Who from?
The president of the chamber, Cheryl. As soon as I said that, it came back to me, yeah. Did have a short meeting with Cheryl just about what's, they're looking at with that the other day. And they are looking at doing some improvements with signs, I think is another thing. Their project they're working on, not directly related to Oregon Trail Days, but it's the 250th anniversary. So they're talking about getting some flags in downtown, and she just wanted to kind of get a feel for us of what her plans were.
Yeah, so it can just roll straight through into Oregon Trail Days per se.
Yeah. So anyway, we just had that discussion about what that would look like, and she shared with us the flags and what they would look like. So I think that went well. Now we got 5 minutes, and we'll start our regular meeting.
Mayor, may I?
Sure.
Walking is not a very good thing for me anymore. John O'Callahan, 1432 Sussex Avenue. Last at our last meeting, I asked you guys if you would endorse me as a city to be on the e-bike committee. And maybe I misunderstood. I thought it was going to be an approval on this meeting, and I don't see it on the agenda. The reason that I did step up today is because the next meeting's on the 17th, which means that either the governor signs it or it becomes law, because there is no pocket veto in the state of Washington. So either way, it's going to happen. We need to be in a position to get that out as soon as possible. If you are going to do that, if you can send the letter to Andrew Barkis, he'll make sure that it gets to where it needs to be.
I'll add it, with their permission, we can add it to the agenda. I think
Thank
we've
you.
already talked about it. If you guys don't mind adding that to the agenda, just a letter of support for John. Then
Thank
we
you.
can send it to, we'll send a copy to you too and to him.
Thank you.
Does that sound okay? So
Yeah, 'cause I'll
Barkis,
shop it around to other councils. And just so as you know, the county commissioners are all endorsing me as well.
okay. So help me remember to add that, if you don't mind. Four minutes.
Did Mr. Gray from, Mr. Rick, did he say that property was picked up?
Who is it?
Did he say where it was?
Oh, I think it's to the side over there, right by the, it's been for sale forever, where the hot shop is. That big parcel that's right there, as you go around the corner, across from the Tenino. I think it's been kind of quiet, until they sign the contract, you know. I think it's pretty spendy, they wanted a lot of money for that.
Yeah, they
parcel. Yeah. That's why they were struggling with building the whole station at one time, because they had to pay so much more for that property, and then they expected to have to pay for anything.
Yeah.
I remember one was a fee for something.
Pretty vague.
Did you mark it?
No, I didn't mark it.
Well, you can speak on it.
Oh, then I can speak on it. See.
Unless you want to mark it.
There's only two things.
I thought there was, yeah, I didn't think there was one.
There's actually only one price that is changed and 1 hour classification that changed. Yes, I did see that. So yes, I can speak on it at the
Well, since
podium,
you're
on the
here.
camera.
That's good. I did for.
You want to come in where you be or something?
Or you could just go share with Nancy. Nancy.
What? I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Your fee schedule. I can
Oh.
update on the fee schedule if you wish.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I feel like I know one cost and one hourly. So. Page 2 and page 6.
Okay, it is 7:30, so we will call to order the regular meeting of the City of Tenino for March 24th. It is 7:30. All rise for the flag salute. Elaine, would you like to start us off, please? Thank you. Agenda approval. We have an agenda with the suggestion we add under new business 9, letter of support for John O'Callahan.
I so move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda with addition of number 9 under new business, letter of support. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Approval of minutes. We have minutes from 3/10/2026.
I so move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes from 3/10/2026. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is approved. We have the consent calendar for March 24th, or March 11th through March 24th, 2026, consisting of payroll EFTs in the amount of $37,280.32, claims checks numbers 33976 through 34004 in the amount of $165,373.59, for a total of $202,653.91, and no liquor or cannabis licenses.
I'll move to approve the consent calendar as presented.
And second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? I will just say, I think we looked at it today, about a half of that is grant funding going out, right?
Potentially 48,000 will be reimbursable by grant. Potentially, that's to be verified.
Yeah, one of them we have a question about, so.
Yes.
Anyway, so some of that is grant money. Anything else? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. No executive session. We do have a presentation for, let me get to that one. Child Abuse Prevention Month, so would you like to come up? Thank you for both for being here today. I think this is something we've approved in past years, but
Yeah,
I remember
absolutely.
the twirlers.
The pinwheel, yes. This is Executive Director Shelley Willis of Family Education and Support Services. And we're here to ask for your support in proclaiming child abuse. Oh, picture time.
Oops, I did it in the wrong spot.
Okay, we're here to thank you for proclaiming this to be Child Abuse Prevention Month. And we bring these pinwheels as kind of a symbolism of how innocent and fun children are, and when they're victims of child abuse, how that can easily shatter their childhood and their life going forward. So as an organization, we strongly believe that strong families equal strong communities. And so by supporting this and bringing awareness to child abuse prevention, you are shedding a light on something a lot of people don't want to talk about, but it happens in our community, even here in Tenino, where I raise my kids, and my kids go to Parkside and Tenino Middle School, and we've even seen it here. So it's not something we should shy away from, but something we should shed a light on and help prevent. See something, say something, so we can help. Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions for him? I'll actually read the proclamation. I kind of got out of order there. The proclamation's later, but we'll read it and vote on it here in just a couple seconds.
Okay, thank you.
If that's okay?
Is it okay
Yeah.
to pass out the
Yeah, sure.
Please do.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking about. Yeah. Okay, we'll move on, and like I said, just in 1 second, we'll get to the actual proclamation. Public comments. Does anybody have a public comment? Come on up if you do.
Hi, my name is Rachel Huber. I live on 328 Briar Lane, and I wanted to bring something to the city that hasn't been talked about before, which is that Skyler Creek on Old Highway 99, to cross that as a pedestrian, it's kind of scary. There's no sidewalks or anything like that. We've lived out there for a little over 4 years. There's 30 houses on my street, and plus there's Mama Acres, and we have bicyclists, runners, people that walk into town trying to access the path, get coffee, just go for a walk. I've had,
Oh, can you move the mic? They're having problems hearing you. Is the light on, the mic down there? Is there a light on?
it's on, I'm just not very loud. There's been scenarios that are just like terrifying that we've experienced crossing that bridge. I've had a car overtake me, like overtake another car while I was on the bridge with it. I almost had to jump off the bridge to avoid getting hit by that car. There are some motorists, I can tell, they just don't know what to do. They don't know that they're supposed to stop, or that they should yield, or how they should handle that situation. There are some drivers that just absolutely do not like bicyclists. They don't like runners. They don't want to see you on the road because the road is for cars, and I would like to see something like a yield to pedestrians, maybe a line to show where cars should stop might be helpful for people who just don't know.
Okay.
I think lowering the speed limit could be helpful. I think there's things that could be done that are cost effective without putting in an actual sidewalk, because I know that costs money.
So bridge, line for the bridge, okay. Yeah, we can look into that, and just so you know, we are looking at a path out that way, because we just know that there's a lot of people that clear out to the ag part, just,
I've heard
yeah.
that.
But it's gonna take time. It's gonna take a lot of time.
It's expensive, and it's
Yeah.
gonna take time, but
We'll
I
have
just
to
think
find
this would
grants,
be
but maybe a stopgap anyway to help a little bit, because I know that bridge is so narrow anyway, so
yeah,
there's really no room to get over, or, really.
no, none.
So we'll see. I'll talk to Public Works and see if we can do some kind of marking, or some kind of, at least watch for pedestrians, or something there maybe that can.
Something helpful.
Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you for bringing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Anybody else for public comment? Okay, we'll get to the proclamation. And I'll read this. Proclamation, whereas the city of Tenino recognizes our future rest in the hands of our most vulnerable and cherished assets, our children, and whereas all children deserve to live in safe, stable, and nurturing environments which promote their healthy growth and development, and whereas child abuse, neglect, and other trauma are recognized as serious public health problems affecting both the current and future quality of life in our community, and whereas it is the responsibility of our community to ensure parents, caregivers, and other adults who influence the health and well-being of children have the support, knowledge, and concrete resources necessary to ensure all children thrive to their greatest potential, and whereas effective child abuse prevention strategies succeed because of partnerships among agencies, schools, religious organizations, law enforcement agencies, healthcare providers, and the business community. Excuse me. And whereas we, as the City of Tenino residents, continue to commit to protect all members of our community and call all citizens to join together to increase public safety and prevent the further abuse and neglect of our children. Now, therefore, I, Dave Watterson, Mayor of Tenino, and the Tenino City Council do hereby proclaim April 26 as Child Abuse Prevention Month, and urge all Tenino citizens, communities, state agencies, faith groups, medical facilities, elected leaders, medical providers, educators, and businesses to increase their participation in efforts to support families, thereby preventing child abuse and strengthening the communities in which we live. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the City of Tenino to be affixed at City Hall this 24th day of March in the year 2026. we'll have this signed by everybody.
Should we make a motion to approve it?
Yes,
Okay.
just one
Okay.
second.
Okay.
Okay, we have a proclamation behind. You can take a, I don't know if we can get a, can I send you a copy? Because we'll all have to sign it then. Yeah, we'll keep one too. Or I can see.
Yeah, do we want all,
Let us send you one.
all council members to sign that?
Yeah, I got it here. I'll pass it down.
Okay.
So we have a proclamation before us. Is there a motion to approve that?
I so move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the proclamation for National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'll send my pen down so they're all the same.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Appreciate your work you do for our communities. Take care. Okay, on to old business. Only thing we have on there is the final Tenino comprehensive plan. We need to move to approve holding a public hearing on 4/28/2026 for the final Tenino comprehensive plan for formal adoption.
Sorry, we're moving the public meeting forward.
Approving a public meeting on
Yeah.
4/28/26.
Okay, so I'll move that we approve public meeting for April 28th, correct? Yeah, for the Tenino Comprehensive Plan.
Is there a second?
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the public hearing on 4/28/2026 for the final Tenino comprehensive plan update. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. New business, Tenino Food Bank, as we talked about earlier, submitted a letter of interest to purchase property at 748 and 798 Sussex Avenue. So we're asking for a motion to approve to move forward with the process of surplusing the Old City Shop and cold storage warehouse and the steps needed to get that process underway. And we'll bring that back on our next meeting on April 14th.
Do we have to do this correction date first?
I think we can just, we can correct it before we sign it, I think. I don't think we need to sign it today. We're not signing it today, so,
It's already in your inbox,
okay.
the corrected one.
We're not
Right.
approving that contract today.
So-
We're just approving, moving forward. We'll sign that
Yeah,
when we get the information at the next meeting. So
Oh, okay.
we'll have it corrected there,
final passage will be
probably
on
next
the
meeting.
14th. Okay,
Yeah.
and
So
then, yeah,
I move that we go forward with the agreement with the food bank.
Is there a second?
I second the motion.
okay.
They're all looking at you, Jeff.
Yeah, I know. It's my turn, right?
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to approve moving forward with the purchase agreement and the steps we need to take to do that. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The next one is the Planning Commission candidates. As we talked about earlier, we have 2 openings now, and we had 2 candidates that went through the process. Those people are Pam Light and Brian Ganster, I guess is how you say it, for positions 1 and number 4. The Planning Commission unanimously approved moving that to the council, approving those people to the Planning Commission. So, any discussion on that? Or I guess I need
I
a
made a motion, I would make a motion to accept their appointments.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the Planning Commission's recommendation to appoint Pam Light and Brian Ganster to positions 1 and 4 on the Planning Commission. Is there any other discussion?
That is Brian and not Brain.
I think, yeah, I think so. It says Brain on my paperwork, but I changed it, not knowing. I can't imagine it's Brain, but I think it's Brian. Okay. Got it first, we got a second, and was there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Pam. Okay, The next one is Tenino Arts, a special event application fee exempt request. The Tenino Arts nonprofit and Tenino Stone Carvers Guild are making an application to hold the Tenino Arts Stone City Arts Festival on June 13th, 2026 on Olympia Street near the Stone Carver Shed. And it says, noting the financial issues of the city faces at this time, we would like to remit $50 to help cover a portion of the processing fees.
What would the fees have been?
We got the fee schedule, so, yeah.
Hey, look at that.
Yes.
Knew this was coming. So a special events permit fee would be $150. And then any necessary personnel, police, fire, or police or public works, or city personnel required would be an additional cost. So they're saving $100.
I don't think there's any need for any police or
No.
other kind of presence there.
I
at that
take
one,
it that this is a Saturday when it's the market.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
It's the other side of the split battery and just Olympia Street.
Yeah, so it's not like it's closing off a main street or anything there, so.
So typically, Public Works comes and puts road closure signs out on Friday afternoon before they go home. Usually the event coordinators put out the street signs early in the morning, and
Yeah.
we're good to go. If not, the police department can assist with that.
Okay.
Okay. I'll make a motion to go ahead and waive the special events fee with the understanding that they are going to remit $50 to help cover the processing fees.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the special event application fee from the Tenino Arts and Tenino Stone Carvers Guild for the Tenino Arts Stone City Art Festival on Saturday, June 13th, 2026. Is there any discussion?
I would like to thank Tenino Arts for being willing to kick something towards the city. As you know, I've been harping about giving away city services for free at a time of financial distress, and I've been resoundingly thumped in council about charging worthy organizations in the city. And I accept that, but I appreciate that Tenino Arts was willing to at least something towards the costs of processing it and whatnot. So
I agree.
just want to say that.
But I would love to give the other $100.
If you want to, you can make a donation.
Since I gave up my shed years ago to start that whole thing, that I just feel like I still own part of that.
Okay.
And I'll be glad to donate the other $100.
If you wish to, yeah. We're not gonna tell you no.
So just let me know when to pay.
Okay, we'll figure something out.
Whatever.
Okay.
Thank you, Joyce. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That's very nice of you. We appreciate it. Okay, it's moved and seconded. Is there any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. The last one under new business is the letter of support for John O'Callahan. And what's the name of the, sorry?
That's it, we'll send a bill 6110. It's the set up committee for e-bike regulations.
Okay, so to provide a letter of support for John O'Callahan to be committed, or to be on that committee, is there any, I guess I need a first and second.
I move that we send a letter of support.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to provide a letter of support for John O'Callahan for the e-bike committee. Is there any other discussion?
Thank you.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Resolutions, we have the annual update of consolidated fee schedule per ordinance 870.
The council requested clarification as to what had been updated, and I'm here to present that. On page 2 of the 25 schedule, we removed the business licensing section. Business licensing is all handled through the Department of Revenue, so that does not come to us. So we just, for clarification, we just removed that part because we don't collect those fees here. Further down, the quarry house rental,
The all-day time frame changed from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. the next day to the current 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. No change in the cost. We also updated on page 3 the Tenino Toledo Reserve Academy. We no longer have that, so we just eliminated that from the fee schedule. And then further on, I believe at page 6, almost to the end, the pre-application conference fee was $264, and we've changed that to a 2-hour equaling $500. Those are the updates to the 25 to the 26 schedule.
I'll just say on the last one she mentioned, the pre-conference schedule, that's something that we have, at least since I've been here, I don't remember having a pre-conference, but we did have one for the ag park for the meat processing facility where we had to bring several people in for that. And, you know, any of those people are $200+ an hour, so I don't even know if 500 really covers the fee, but it gets us closer. Gets us a little closer to at least covering most of our costs for those kind of things, which are pretty rare. For its bigger projects, it would have, you know.
Well, I'll move to approve the, sorry, is there, or I'll move to approve the annual update of the consolidated fee schedule.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded to update the consolidated fee schedule as described. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I think we got through all the reports. Anybody, we got public comment too. Any other public comments? Seeing,
Just real quick, what I'll say from here, if you guys have any concerns about e-bikes, get a hold of me, we can sit down after the conference, so I can take notes and pass that information on.
announcements. Anybody have announcements? I will say again, we've already talked about it, this Saturday, the 28th, at the elementary school multi-purpose room will be a public hearing for our budget and police services. So please, we've got the word out, and I think it's all over Facebook since Sheriff Sanders posted about it. I think we've got a lot of feedback that people are hearing about it, but please pass on to anybody you know that that meeting's at 10 a.m. on Saturday, the 28th. So we'd appreciate everybody's comments and questions.
Please, the reason,
Oh, Tenino Elementary, which is 301 South 99, I believe, 99, Highway 9. And it's in the multi-purpose room, so it's the little building, it's not in the school part itself, it's the kind of the side building there as you walk in. Next to the district office, yeah. I think so, it's pretty good size, I hope, if we get that many people.
It is good size.
Yeah, I don't know how many
Because I've
people.
been in there with them.
I mean, they have the whole school having their,
Yeah, the whole school goes in there for.
and they're all their families, so.
Yeah.
The high school, I tried to get the high school, but it was not available. They're having a dance and gonna have it decorated already, so.
And is it permissible for all council members to go without a big meeting?
Yep, we've advertised, so it should be, that should be taken care of.
Okay.
and I'd
Just
like
wanted
to
make sure.
Yep.
add my voice of encouragement for Tenino to come and join us. We've reached out to the community for help with the budget, for feedback. This is very important. It's a very important decision, and we don't just welcome your help, we need your help. So please, come and hear what people have to say and add your own voice and your own opinion and your own solutions Saturday morning. Thank you.
Any other announcements? Hearing none, we are adjourned.